Hello, all who are listening to this podcast. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening from. This is the Tennis Toast podcast, the French Open second episode, fifth episode overall. In the first episode, we discussed about our predictions. We discussed about what things do we expect, and mostly we were correct. In Naomi Osaka and Amanda Anisimova match, we said Anisimova will win. Guess what? She did. We betted on Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, and Carlos Alcaraz. Until now, they have been dominating. Alcaraz, there was one match which was very crucial, and we will be talking about that match, which was with ARV, that is Alberto Ramos Vinolas. It was a great match. And today also, we'll be discussing a lot of things which for me are like hot takes. It's going to be a session of the podcast now. We'll be starting us with hot takes. Hot takes are something which we do not have much data to back up, but it's just a feeling. It's just a gut feeling which we have. And this is what we'll be starting with, the hot takes today. So let's jump straight in. And here's the very first hot take. My hot take is, after seeing the first week's performance, if Daniel Medvedev and Stefanos Tsitsipas meet in the semifinals, Medvedev is winning the match. Utkarsh, Suri, what are your takes on that? Yeah, Utkarsh, go ahead.
Yeah. So yes, I also agree with you. Going by the way Medvedev has been playing, I am completely in surprise. I was not expecting him to be so good in both serve and return. He has somehow find a way to adapt to clay court. It looks like that, and definitely that is a big surprise for me. Seeing him play that way. Yes, he had reached quarterfinal last year, but still, I had very little expectation from Medvedev moving forward. So I also agree with you. If Medvedev reaches the semi-final, first of all, he might become world rank number one, and second, definitely he has a very good chance to make it to the final.
Suri, what's your take?
So funnily, it's funny that you actually
It seems like Suri is having some problems, but we will come to his take, that's for sure. For now, let's move on to the second take. Now, this take is something which is kind of personal to one of our members, that is Utkarsh, because last week when I said about this one prediction, he was completely adamant that this is going to happen. You know what the prediction was? That who's going to win from WTA side? And he said with full utter confidence is going to be Iga Swiatek. And here's my hot take. I have no data to back it up. I have no reason to say this, but I don't know why. I have this very strong feeling Swiatek is not winning Roland Garros 2022. I don't know why. It is just some feeling which I'm having, and this is the second hot take. Utkarsh, how's your feeling on that?
She is still the favorite. I do not completely agree with you. First of all, with respect to the results in the female circuit, WTA, what I have to say that it is completely unpredictable. Out of the first 20 seeded female, only one is left now. That is, I guess two is left now. One is obviously one is the Iga Swiatek. So I still feel that she is the strongest contender in the field, and she is going to get through.
Thank you so much, Utkarsh.
Yeah.
So, Suri, we'll be taking your hot takes on both of the things. Medvedev will win, and second thing, Swiatek will lose. Both of them.
Yeah, so I was just mentioning that today I messaged my brother saying that wager an outright on Medvedev now, which I wasn't doing like 3-4 days ago, because the first game against Delbonis, I was actually planning on sprinkling some on Delbonis, in fact. Was it Delbonis or Bagnis? One of the two, Bagnis, Facundo Bagnis. So I was actually willing to put some on Bagnis. Then I wanted to play some on Kecmanovic, because he's been in really good form this year. But, Medvedev has surprised me. He's been more patient. He's typically a flat hitter, but winning, yeah, it's a bold choice from you. But I don't think he'll win. But yeah, I think he's going to make it far this tournament. Definitely. And Swiatek, that's something that's even bolder to say that she's not going to. I still don't see any evidence. There's been a lot of upsets like Utkarsh has been talking about. Not many seeded players. the Italian Trevisan and Camilla Giorgi, of course, she's been there on the circuit, some good matches, but Corey Goff maybe, but still, I don't see any way past Swiatek in this tournament. Just been too clinical.
Yeah, my second prediction was also kind of a reverse jutsu where I trying to jinx people so that they win. So, but also one of the things which why I kind of switched towards this kind of prediction and hot take was because when I saw everybody in the top 20 go out, I suddenly now feel that the pressure on Iga Swiatek will be much more. It's like the case when Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal are in the match. The pressure is kind of equal on both sides. The both of them can make mistakes. The both of them can go under pressure. But once this is so unbalanced that all of them are lesser than top 20 ranks and you're the first in the world and you're just going and you're the only one holding the flag, I believe that it kind of raises the pressure. Till now, she has been mentally very strong. So there's no reason to believe that she won't be able to take it. But then again, I just wanted to reverse jinx it. Now, the third prediction is kind of a personal one. I don't know if you have even seen the press conference. Also, it is kind of related to tennis drama, which is really becoming popular these days. We like to see drama within the tennis game. So this thing is a prediction which has to do with Rafael Nadal and his uncle Tony Nadal. I don't know if you have seen the press conference, but when Rafael Nadal was asked the question, he kind of seemed a little bit bothered. And that's my take, that Rafael Nadal is actually a little bit bothered that his uncle will be on FAA side instructing FAA. Do you think Rafael Nadal is bothered, or do you think no, all is fine? Rafael Nadal knows his uncle, he trusts his uncle. Suri.
So here's my take. In fact, I read what Tony Nadal said. He was asked on who he wants to win, and he said, "See, there's no two ways about this. He's my nephew, and I want him to win." So he was pretty honest, actually, if you read that part of it. But to your question, I don't think Nadal is going to be perturbed. He's seen a lot. He's won so much. I don't think this should be an issue at all. But if you really want to read a little more into that, sprinkle a little bit on Auger Aliassime to win a set today. If that's a wager you want to take, you can play that. But beyond that, I don't see anything more.
I think we can bet upon Auger FA winning a set today. I have a very strong feeling he might. But let's say we'll wait for that towards the betting ground. Utkarsh, what's your take on this? Is Rafael Nadal a little bit bothered that Tony Nadal is on FAA side?
I don't think so. He has reached a state. He has reached the point where these statements, I don't think it will bother him. So they have parted ways quite some time back, and definitely when they had parted ways, somewhere at the back of the head, he might have known that Tony Nadal will also move forward and will also take up, might even take up other assignments. Who can say? So I don't see that this is something that might be bothering me. Although I have not seen the press conference, but listening to you two guys, this is what I can infer. And knowing how Rafael Nadal has been and how clay court has always been his forte. And in addition to that, he has an excellent team which is backing him and with whom he has won an Australian Open. So I don't think that just a statement from somebody, yes, who is very close is going to make him it's going to affect him.
So far, all my hot takes are going really bad. And so this is the final hot take. Again, it is not backed by data. Only a few Redditors have been propounding this myth. There's been a pretty good support on Reddit about. So one of them, there's very strong support. And I think also there's a lot of proof that this may be happening. The second one is still a little bit shot in the dark. But it's a prediction which people are making. That is, Federer and Serena Williams have actually almost retired. The only reason they still do not want to make it official is because of the sponsorships which they're attached to it. Now, I see that a lot for Serena Williams. If she doesn't get the wild card at Wimbledon, she will lose so many points that she will now rank lesser than 1,000 after Wimbledon. Anyway, she won't be getting many points. So yes, she will be losing a lot of points there. She might just rank lesser than 1,000. Federer, he's trying to tell that he's returning. But again, the only cup which he has finalized this year is Laver Cup. And we do not know whether he'll be playing after that or how he'll be coming back. So what's your take on this? Honestly, for Federer, I really do believe that he has a lot of passion going in. So this is not my hot take, it's a Reddit hot take. And I just want your opinion on that. So, Suri.
Good old world of Reddit. So I haven't really looked into that, but it's a pretty nice theory. And even I've been wondering for a while as to what Federer's been up to and when he's going to really call it a day. He's kind of been pushing it, and pushing it. So you know what? Just for the show, I think I'll go with the Redditors.
Oh,
Let's take that.
that's good.
Serena, I hope she gets a wild card for Wimbledon. She'll come back. No, Serena, I don't think I'll go with the Redditors on. Serena's so like in the words of her father, she like a bulldog. She never gonna give up. So that's what she's gonna be. She's gonna keep working, and she'll come back.
That was almost a good Will Smith accent. It was so good that Suri might just get up and slap me. Thank you. Utkarsh, what's your take on this? Is on Federer and Serena retirement?
Yeah, so going by how these two have been actively participating in past 2 years, I will agree with Serena Williams with the Redditors. This can be a scenario with respect to Serena Williams because apart from the Grand Slam, she has hardly competed in any other WTA tour event. On the other hand, Federer did compete in Masters as well as he is, apart from Layer Cup, he might also compete in the in Swiss Open that happens in Basel. This is also in his calendar, the way the what I have actually heard or read somewhere. So for me, yes, I think Federer wants to have one last go in the big events, which he has loved for so many years. So that will be definitely next year. So I see him playing, at least giving it a try in Australian Open as well as in Wimbledon next year.
That was exactly my theory too. So I've seen a few videos of Federer practicing in his garage, which is still like one of those things where after the second part of Avengers, Thanos just comes in for an appearance. He just gets the Infinity Gauntlet. It's one of those kind of videos. It's extremely dark and Federer is just hitting a wall. So it just plays after the Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic match that he's still here. That's how I imagine everything to go. But yeah, those were the hot takes for today. They also involved some kind of drama, the tennis drama. There's much more tennis drama left, but since a lot of it has to do with Wimbledon, including Kyrgios's statement that he's the best grass court player right now, he made that. That's Kyrgios for you. But we'll be discussing it during the Wimbledon session. For now, we'll be moving on to the second and the most to the upcoming part of the event and what we are actually here for. That is the predictions regarding round 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, and the projected finals. So again, amongst all the matches which are possible, some of them are pretty predictable, so we won't be going that much into it. But obviously, we'll be discussing the GOATs. So the very first match, Djokovic and Schwartzman. Do you think Schwartzman will be able to take a set? I'm not saying Schwartzman can win. I don't think he can. Do you think Schwartzman will be able to take a set? The match is going on right now. Please do not open your internet. Utkarsh.
Yes, I think Schwartzman is going to take a set. Why I'm saying it is because just before the podcast started, I saw the score. So in second set, Schwartzman had already broken Novak Djokovic, and he has a history of playing very well on clay court. He has even he has challenged Rafael Nadal, where in his French Open victories, where none of the other opponents even won a single set. So Schwartzman is definitely my bet that he will give him a good run. Novak Djokovic, eventually Novak Djokovic will win, but yeah, Schwartzman, I bet he will definitely take a set.
Thank you, Utkarsh. And sorry to rain on your parade, but Djokovic almost broke back and it is 3-all in the second set. So the prediction is still going weird. Suri, do you think Schwartzman will be able to take a single set against Djokovic today?
I actually would say yes. Now that you said 3-3 and Djokovic, I think the first 6-1, I think. I don't know, I saw the score, but looking at it, I didn't feel like it. But at the beginning, if you had asked me to sprinkle some, I would have said Schwartzman to take a set. And the reason for that is Schwartzman himself has been playing really well. Dimitrov was playing really well, and then Schwartzman absolutely hammered him. And I didn't think the match would go the way that it went. And Schwartzman's he's not that top 3, top 4 kind of player, but he's an elite clay court player. That he's a really good clay court player. And Djokovic has these times in matches where he dips in a set, and then that's when Schwartzman can take it. And then, Djokovic comes back to take the next set 6-1 or 6-0. So that happens a lot of time. You just look at his record. But I think if there's anyone, Schwartzman can take a set. So I'll go with Utkarsh on this one.
So people are confident with Schwartzman here. Again, the same question, but spin this time for FAA and Rafa. FAA takes a set. I think the match can go 5 sets, to be very honest. That's what my feeling is going, that either it's going to be extremely one-sided for Rafael Nadal, but if FA is playing well, it may go 5 sets. That's how my prediction is going. So, Suri, do you think FA can take 1 set against Rafa? You already told me your prediction, but yeah.
Yeah, so that was the wager I said I'll make. I was about to play it, but I didn't. So I'm still kind of contemplating. But yes, I think I'm leaning towards it, heavy lean towards the FA taking a set. I don't know if it's going to be 5, but maybe a set.
Okay, Utkarsh, FA takes a set.
The sets might be going very close, but I think I have this gut feeling that Rafael Nadal is winning 3 sets to love. We might say a couple of tiebreakers, but Rafael Nadal will find a way. He is not going to lose a set to FA.
And all of us, I guess, want Rafa to find a way today, because next round is what all of us await, with the huge clash, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, the well-awaited quarterfinals. Now, apart from the other predictions, the only one which is kind of very interesting to me is a guy who nobody saw coming in the French Open. I kind of was putting him in the radar, but he was just not there yet. But right now, he's been making a lot of waves, especially with the first round match where he blasted off a guy who just defeated Rafael Nadal, Denis Shapovalov. He was defeated by this guy known as Holger Rune, or Rune, as some people pronounce him, and he has been playing extremely well. He has a match with Tsitsipas tomorrow. So, Suri, who's your take in that match? Where do you think it'll go?
I think it'll be Tsitsipas, but it'll be in 4 or 5. And Holger Rune has been playing really, really well. Actually, there's a group of Nordic players who've been playing really well. Casper Ruud, the other guy, and then Rune. But this is Holger's breakthrough season almost. I mean, he's been there and thereabouts. He's playing really well. That's going to be a very interesting match, and I think he'll definitely a set. But I'm not still ready to predict him over Tsitsipas, because Tsitsipas's clay court pedigree is real high, and he's been there. So, but yeah, there'll be maybe a set for Holger.
Good one. Utkarsh, what's your prediction?
Yeah, so going by how the tournament has gone for Tsitsipas, he has had a couple of very good matches. One was very close, which went into 5 sets, and the other one, I am forgetting the name of the tennis player, but it was very 4 sets, went into 4 sets, and it was very close. Even the tiebreak went into higher end with respect to points. So yes, initially I remember we had predicted that the Tsitsipas has got a kind of a run which he's not looking into major challenges. But as it turns out, his run till 4th round has been the toughest. And yes, Holger Rune is not going to make it easy. So yes, I have seen a couple of highlights from Holger Rune. He looks very good. And it is going to be a challenging match. And definitely one of the 4th round matches I'm looking forward to watch. But even I go by what Suri said, that Tsitsipas should find a way. It will be a close match, maybe 4 or 5 sets, but Tsitsipas should win.
Exactly, that was my prediction too, that Tsitsipas most surely will find a way. At the same time, Holger Rune is going to make it very difficult, maybe 4 or maybe 5 sets, especially seeing that Tsitsipas had been having some problems this week, even against players like Lorenzo Musetti, as somebody on Reddit called him Lorenzo Tusetti, because he lost again after winning 2 sets to love. Now we'll be moving on the WTA side. There was one prediction which I was waiting for. The match is already done, which was Fernandez and Anisimova. Fernandez won in one of her fashion, where she just comes back and stays strong in the 3rd set. So now I'm not going to ask about that match, but I'm going to ask about a possible match which may happen I think it'll be semi-finals, which is Fernandez and Coco Gauff. Now, Coco Gauff has to win her match, and then they have to win their next matches for this to happen. But who do you think has more chance? Both of them youngsters. Both of Fernandez obviously reached much more heights in the US Open, but both of them have showed really good promise. So, Suri, we have Coco Gauff versus Fernandez. Who do you choose?
To tell you the truth, I've not watched a lot of Coco Gauff since she broke through, I think at Wimbledon, I believe, when she became a really big player, and I've not watched too much of her games. I would go with Leylah Fernandez, and I'll tell you why. Her game since the US Open's actually improved. A lot of people were all over Raducanu and how she's been playing, but if anything, Leylah Fernandez is the more mature player, and she knows her game very well. She knows her strengths. Where her strengths basically, she moves around the court so beautifully. And Coco Gauff, again, she's an amazing mover. But I think on the clay courts with a little more patience, I think Fernandez has a slight upper hand here. So I'll go with Fernandez.
Utkarsh.
Yeah, I have also not seen much from Coco Gauff. Leylah Fernandez. I remember seeing the US Open, many of her close matches there. So here, for me, knowing how Leylah Fernandez has plays and how this year has been for her, she has been constantly making it to top 8, top 4 in many events I have seen. If I follow the results, this is something that is constantly you can see among the results that she has come up with. So going by that, I feel that if there is a match between Coco Gauff and Leylah Fernandez will come.
That was exactly why I was also thinking that, mostly because of how mental strength she has shown in the last sets. She always comes back. We saw that in US Open. We saw that against Belinda Bencic recently. We also saw that the same thing against today's match against Amanda Anisimova, where she just came back, fought through the third set, won it 6-3. Even when in the second set she lost. So she's been going good. I do predict her winning, reaching the finals, I guess. I mean, Georgie might cause a little bit of problem there, but it's going to be either side. And finally, do you predict more bagels for Swiatek? How many more bagels for Swiatek? She already has 2 in French Open. I predict 2 more. Suri, do you think any more bagels coming up?
Yeah, definitely. 1 more for sure.
1 more for sure. Utkarsh, Swiatek bagels, how many?
Yeah, definitely 1 more. But what I also feel that I think Salone's defense is in her draw, if I'm not wrong.
I'll have to see that, yeah.
A tough match is going to come if Salone's defense makes it through. So that is one match in WTA that I will look forward to. That is Swiatek, Salone's defense. Yeah.
So with this, we are kind of coming towards the end. So before where we reached our betting session and we revisit it again, because there's not much to revisit right now. All of us are almost still in the game. So before that, the favorite match of this till now of Roland Garros 2022. Suri, what's your favorite match till now?
I see. You know what? I've not watched the full game, mostly highlights to tell you the truth. But I think I'll go with the Musetti 5-setter.
Yes,
that's my favorite. I thought he'd take it, but in the end,
he did the Lorenzo Musetti thing.
Yes.
People were just happy he didn't retire this time. Last year, Djokovic beat him and then he retired. And after that, he said, I retired because I was down and I was not feeling good. And he was going to defeat me 6-love, which was the weirdest reason to retire from a match.
Also, one other match I actually forgot about was Marin Cilic has been playing really well, which has actually surprised me on the clay courts. And I wagered Fucsovics, but after taking the first set, Cilic absolutely hammered him in the next 3. So that was one match I kind of watched a little bit of, and that was a good match. And I don't think Cilic is going to make it any further, but that was a good match.
The next round is with Medvedev. Since we are predicting Medvedev for the finals, it's going to be very difficult. Utkarsh, what's your favorite match?
Yeah, since I have betted on Carlos Alcaraz, I happened to watch his match with Ramos
Yeah.
Vilas. So I watched the fifth set. I saw him getting broken, and I was about to ping in the group also that I think I'm losing quite early in this betting. But he came back and he won. So just because I was supporting midfield very nicely, he finally came out victorious. So that for me is my favorite match till now that I have seen. Yes, apart from that, definitely I have not seen much. Luceti match. I saw the highlights, which were definitely good. And Tsitsipas, I don't remember the name of the his opponent, in which he lost in. He happened to win in 4 sets, but that was one that match. The was also very good. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, so that, if you ask me, my two favorite matches were also almost, they were on the same day. So one of them definitely did involve Carlos Alcaraz and Albert Ramos Vinolas. ARV actually had a match point. It was on Carlos Alcaraz's serve, but he played really well. He saved it. It was not an ace. That's another thing. Like, once you do not give an ace, it becomes more difficult because you have to fight the rally, hold your nerves, and get through. Carlos Alcaraz was able to do that. Again, fifth set, he was able to make the return. And that made me really confident about what his future holds now. Because there was a similar match which Medvedev had with FAA during the Australian Open, where FAH was just playing out of his mind. And I thought this is the point where Medvedev loses. And when he won that match, I thought that, okay, something in Medvedev has now changed. This is the kind of matches that Medvedev usually loses, but he just kept himself together. The second match, which I loved, was between Zverev and Sebastian Baez. Sebastian Baez is also a guy from Argentina who has the height of Schwartzman, and he played a tremendous match. Again, had match points. Zverev was able to save it. But yeah, two of the great matches. I loved both of them. On the WTA side, I would say I really liked Fernandez and Beretta Bencic match, but the last set was pretty one-sided, so we cannot say it was the most nail-biting match. But yeah, still, I like where that match went, and especially the mental strength of Fernandez. It was nice to see her return in the same form which we saw her at the US Open. Now, before we go, we will be revisiting our bets and telling to the users what happened last time. So last time, all of us got together and we decided to put, as I said before that, put our money where our mouth is. All of us like to make predictions. All of us like to tell about our favorite players, but this time we were actually putting money. So we had to bet on our favorite players, and that is how much the bet we had to lose, the amount of money which we had to lose. So Surya bet on Novak Djokovic, 400 rupees. He's still in the game. Till now, unchallenged. I think he just won the second set, or he's about to win the second set. He's about to win the second set, 5-3. So Surya is still in the game. Utkarsh almost lost it, and I was so happy that day. I almost thought of pinging him when I saw that he's going to lose 225 rupees. But again, he was saved. And I'm also saved with Rafa still having 50. So today, since we just have one match which we can still wager on, so I think let's wager on that. Utkarsh, if you want to come in, you can also come in. My wager is FA will take it to 5 sets against Rafa. How much do you want to wager?
I still feel it is going to be a straightforward 3-0. Rafa
Okay,
Nadal winning it.
3-0. Surya.
Yeah.
Okay, mine will be 4. So we have 3 plays then. 3 sets,
Okay.
4 sets, and 5 sets.
Should we just bet like 50, 50, 50? That'll be good.
Sure, that'll be a
Okay,
good
man. 50, 50, 50. Let's see. We'll be using that money in order to get our debts out in the final round, which may happen. So again, for the users, it's 50, 50, 50. If FAA take it to the 5 set, I am winning 100 rupees. If FAA takes it to the 4 sets, Suri is winning 100 rupees. If FAA just gets blasted out of the court 3-0, Utkarsh is getting the 100 rupees.
And if
Now-
anybody wins, no one gets anything.
Then we just get a lot of sadness and I lose 50.
Arijit gets the money.
So with this, we have come to the end of the episode number 5 of Tennis Toast, the second episode in the French Open edition. This time again, we tried a few new things. We had a new section known as Hot Takes. Next time, I'll have a special section just named as Ooh Drama, which is just about tennis drama, which is taking place everywhere. which I'm very much predicting right now will have at least one Kyrgios statement every day, every session, because Kyrgios likes making statements. Also, before going, did anybody see Kyrgios and Tomic are actually having a beef on Instagram? Where Kyrgios is calling them. It's too funny. Kyrgios is saying that I've paid for your flights, and Tomic is not responding. This all started when Tomic said that he actually has 1-0 head-to-head over Kyrgios. So this resulted in the beef starting, and Kyrgios is now really against Tomic. But that's a pretty good thing. I think we'll be discussing it more as the events develop. I predict a boxing fight between these two, like Logan Paul and Jake Paul. But it's going to be an interesting turn of events. With this, we bring this round of Tennis Toast to the close. We'll be meeting next week. Some of us definitely going to lose some money, so it's going to be much more interesting than anything else. So tune in once again towards the same time. Thank you for joining in. It's your host, Agniv Sharma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.